Hey, howdy everybody. Good evening and welcome back. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you're getting the right version of this stream. YouTube, I'm coming in hot today. YouTube makes streaming such an absolute pain in the ass. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, now that we're doing the whole like dual stream thing and we're doing the vertical layout stuff and everything, YouTube loves just moving your fucking stream keys around, and you have to and on top of that, if you schedule a stream ahead of time, which I do on YouTube, because that's the only way that you can give it like a title and a category and everything. You have to do all that shit ahead of time. Fine. But the moment you press go on your stream, you use up that YouTube slot for that stream. So if something is wrong, if something is broken, you need to take things down for a second, that's it. There's your VOD. So your VOD is like 35 seconds of silence. And then you have to like generate like a whole new fucking stream. And so that's what I ended up doing in the handful of minutes I had during the standby screen, was just doing that shit while waiting for maybe everything to line up correctly. And I finally figured it out. So hi, we're here now and it's happening. Jesus Christ. Stressing me out. Everything about stream has been stressing me out lately, and I don't like it. I don't care for it. This is meant to be fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun thing we all enjoy together. And I'm getting cock blocked left, right, and center by just random bullshit. Just absolute random bullshit. Anyway, hi everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. This is maybe the earliest in a day that I have decided to do a stream in the evening. Usually I wait until around like 2 or 3, because by then kind of like I have figured out what kind of day I'm having, and I kind of know like what to expect with the rest of it and everything. But this was a case where I just knew I just wanted to go back to some fucking demo discs. I just knew I wanted to get back into the swing. So yeah, I announced this one in the Discord at like like 10:15 this morning or something. Very early for me to do anything at all. I'm barely into work by the time 10 a.m. rolls around, so let alone actually making like full-blown announcements about things. But yeah, despite all the technical woes that I've been going through lately, what remains is like the desire and drive to like just want to get back on stream again. I've got the sickness in a way that I haven't had actually in a hot minute. You know, every now and again you'll get into these like periods of just kind of like, I don't know, do I want to stream tonight? Maybe not. You know, and then that turns into like 3 days and 4 days, and all of a sudden a week has gone by, and it's just kind of like I guess I just haven't really been feeling like it. And then now it's just kind of like,
sorry to hear about your cock, Tony Blue Sam. Wish I could stay longer, but my brain is offline already. Vadend.
Well, thank you very much, Sakari, for the well wishes, and thank you for the resub. That's very kind of you. FF7 is healing my soul a little bit. I think that has something to do with it. You know, like playing. I will say streaming a game that I am having a good time with, for whatever reason, is less draining on my spirit than what we usually do around here, which is the equivalent of me standing up, turning to the door over here and just slamming my head against it for 3.5 hours at a time, while basically accomplishing nothing of importance. Yeah, in the case of Rebirth, I'm having just such a good time with it, that these become less daunting. Streams become less daunting when you know what you are going to do. You know, part of the nature of being a so-called variety streamer, as it were, means that I kind of never really know how things are going to go, especially when we're getting like the really retro stuff. Like anytime we're going into like the world of 8-bit and 16-bit, if we get into fucking, you know, old school platformers and whatnot, there's a really good chance it's going to be a rough couple of hours. Like that is just the nature of the beast. But it turns out Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a really fucking good game. And we found out today I do have plenty of time to finish it before Revelation comes out. They didn't actually drop a date today. They just said spring. So that could be as early as March of next year. So I've got time. I've got some time. I mean, the plan is to hopefully be done with the full playthrough, I would suspect, by like end of September. You know, it'll probably take me the rest of the month to get through a good chunk of it, depending like schedule wise and stuff, because there is stuff coming up outside of streams, you know, so there's a few considerations to be made there. But by and large, we're safe. My concern is that it was going to come out too early, and then I wouldn't be able to. I'd have to jump like immediately into the next one. The 14 expansion is end of February. I'd guess last week of March at the very earliest, but April, May realistically. Yeah. Anytime they say spring, like assume the latest it could possibly be in spring. Like whatever season they say, just assume it'll be actually the first day of the season after it. Like that's usually how these things go, which is fine because we're gonna have so many fucking video games to play between now and then. Good God. I mean, Metal Gear Solid Collection unlocks the end of this week, isn't it? I don't remember exactly. I think it's this Friday. So there's that going on. We got I got Ace Combat 8 sitting just on pre-order, just waiting for that bad boy to unlock. I got a bunch of other stuff now added to my wish list as a result of Gamescom, which I gotta say was a pretty decent showing. I was kind of watching it like piecemeal because I was at work, so I was trying to like watch it in between other shit that was taking away my attention. But I can tell you that added to my wish list today, Showa American Story, because I just want to know what the fuck that is. That looks so goddamn weird. We got pod race. You're right. Yes, we got pod racing coming up in just a couple of weeks. Mega Man Dual Override is now officially on my wish list. Look, I've been talking about it in the Discord. I've been talking about it not only in my Discord, but in other Discords as well. And I gotta say, it looks like they might have made a pretty good game. Man, like so many fingers crossed, like everything crossed. It looks faster, snappier, more energetic than anything that I ever saw out of 11. The only thing that gives me any kind of pause is they seem to allude pretty heavily to like a lot of equipping stuff, which is not in itself a deal breaker for me. But I don't come to Mega Man for like developing a build, you know. Like I I just want the power creep. I just want to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on until you're essentially invincible by the end of it, and just one-shotting shit. But that said, there have been plenty of Mega Man games that have done like chip, equipping and build maxing or whatever, and all of it typically is pretty surface level. Like none of it ever really gets like all that crazy. Mega Man Metroidvania Legends is calling Legends of Metroidvania is an interesting direction, let's say. I guess in a way it is. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out soon ish. I'm now suspecting that playthrough might not happen this year. It's nearly September. It's nearly September. And Valeno and I were talking about doing a Mega Man Legends playthrough back in May. We were talking about it, that it would make sense to do it maybe in like July. And we have now shot over that by so far. We did say that we wanted to do Command Mission first. We did say that we wanted to get that one done and dusted. So it's not like we're not doing the Mega Man thing. We definitely are. It's just that Legends Legends is on the short list, let's say, of games in that franchise that we want to do, and outside of the Mega Man setting, because they're way more involved and a lot longer, and it would be very difficult with the pace that I approach Mega Man with, doing Legends, trying to squeeze in an entire playthrough of Legends in that amount of time, when it's dependent on both of our schedules lining up, it's just not realistic. So we would rather play it outside of the Mega Man stuff and just take our time with it, and then we can actually dedicate proper stream time and like a longer playthrough to that whole thing. But now that it's almost September, I when I think about the rest of the year, I genuinely don't know how we do that. Legends 2 is voiced by Sailor Jupiter. Okay, great. These are all things we get to look forward to. Yeah, and then whatever happens in like Misadventures of Tron Bond, because that's on that fucking list too. I was saying today, like I'm at the point where I'm adding like fan games to the Mega Man list. There's that. Is it Overdrive? Well, okay, Dual Override is what just came out, or what just got announced, or not announced, but updated trailer for today. But there's that Mega Man X, like, not remake, but it's like a fan game, kind of pseudo remake of the first X, that just came out like 2 or 3 days ago. I don't remember the name of it offhand, but I do want to. I want to check that out. Like there are a handful of like notable, like it would be madness if I just put any old Mega Man fan game like in the Mega Man running, because there are so goddamn many of them. But the ones that are like noteworthy, the ones just kind of like, hey, they actually went and like made like a full ass game out of this. It's not just like sprite swaps or whatever. Those are the ones that it's like, well, these are probably worth checking out in some version of one of these. But yeah, again, rest assured, I'm never gonna run out of fucking Mega Man games to play like that. That's guaranteed. Other stuff that ended up on the wish list today, by the way. I put Road Kings on the wish list, which I put on there because it's like the same developer as like fucking like Warhammer and like a bunch of other like weird shit. Like it's a developer, it's Saber Interactive, and they make stuff all over the place. And it's like, what if someone made American Truck Simulator seemingly like a narrative experience? they show people, they show a truck like dodging fucking like forest fires in the middle of a thunderstorm in that trailer. Like it's ridiculous. So I was like, all right, well, that's probably gonna be funny. If nothing else. Love Song, which is a really cool, like looking, like almost like Journey-ish looking kind of, like isometric puzzle platformer type thing. I just really dug the look of that. I did end up putting Rayman Legends Retold on the list because the gameplay, I wasn't super stoked about it the first time that they revealed it, and the gameplay that they showed today, it looks really good. As much as I miss the like hand-drawn 2D animation of Rayman Legends and Origins, it looks like they did a really fucking good job on kind of like translating that look to the whole 2.5D thing, which is not a thing that I can usually say very often. So threw it on the fucking list. I also put Roller Coaster Tycoon Wonderworks on there because they have now added physics to the game. So apparently in the new Roller Coaster Tycoon game, if you make your rides too crazy, if you make things too wild, it will actually simulate the physics of those rides. And your rides can fucking like fall apart and fling guests across the hemisphere. It looks fucking hilarious. It looks absolutely hilarious. And I've always wanted to be able to, I've always wished that I could get into Roller Coaster Tycoon more than I have in the past. And you add destruction and chaos physics to it. That is easy entry for me personally. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I threw Lego Skylines on the list because why the hell not? Because if I'm going to ever get into a city builder game, it might as well be with something cute and from a franchise that I at least like enjoy their other games of. And maybe it'll finally pull me out of my Satisfactory pit. I just found my first uranium resource node in Satisfactory last night, which means that now I have a whole new set of things to research. Oh. I meant to share the photos last night. I took a couple pictures of my factory that I was going to put. I'll try to put them in the Discord tonight if I remember to. Just showing the chaos, just showing the absolute chaos that my base is. It's when I tell you my brain is not properly wired for production pathway solutions, you have to take me at my most literal when I say that. The way that my conveyor belts just spaghetti their way through each other and other objects and cross the entire map to go into exactly one thing that I need just that resource for. It looks like when they make fake notebooks of serial killers for the opening title sequences of movies. That's what my base looks like in Satisfactory. It's madness, and in true me fashion, I know exactly where everything goes. It's utter lunacy, but I know where everything goes, and I know what things are producing which things. The game should be illegal. The game should be illegal. It is addictive in a way that I don't know I've experienced with a game in a very long time. Like not even like not since like Rocket League have I felt like something has like burrowed its way into my brain so fucking hard of just kind of like, I just gotta play more of that game. I just gotta get back to the game. I just gotta do more of it. And then once I'm in it, just kind of like, okay, cool. So what am I working on? What are these things? All right. What's the list of tasks that I'm doing? Okay. All right. Got this. Where am I going to find this thing? All right. Let's start looking around. Oh, I should probably reset all these things so that these are more efficient than these other things. And I'm not really getting compressed coal fast enough. So let's go do that real quick. And next thing you know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's not an exaggeration. I don't feel good about admitting that, but it's a bad scene. Satisfactory is going to end up being my game of the year just by virtue of how much fucking time it has stolen from me. So hopefully Lego Skylines, I don't know, helps a little bit, makes it so I have something else to do. Oh God. Yeah. A lot of just really easy rabbit holes to fall into lately. Honestly, Rebirth is one of them. And you guys have been seeing it happen live on stream. You guys have been watching like in real time my inability to not run after the next big shiny thing. Like it's impossible. It's impossible. Like when all the times in Remake 1 that you saw me try to like go off the beaten path and then it would like automatically turn Cloud around and I would get like frustrated. That was real frustration. Like that was not for the cameras. Like that was me legitimately getting annoyed. That is just kind of like, oh, fucking just let me loose. Just let me loose. And this is why you're seeing it now in Rebirth. You're seeing that this is what happens when the wheels are off. This is what happens when they just kind of like, all right, okay, go. It's just madness. It's just madness. It's full on squirrel energy. Like, I can't help it. I can't help it. And it's the difficulty that I have with kind of like all difficulty that I have with like all open world games is I just, whatever thing is next to me, whatever thing is like the new closest thing I can go do, I'm going to go fucking do that. And I will lose track of whatever the main goal or quest or whatever is like so fucking quickly. Like it'll make your head spin. Which, funnily enough, is why I think something like FF14 like didn't work on me, because that was so rigidly put together of like run here, run back, run here, run back, craft these 3 things, run here, run back. Like it didn't, it never felt like I was like free to go do stuff, whereas so far, at least, like Rebirth has felt like very nicely and naturally designed. Like even escorting salmon around. The fact that side quest just naturally takes you to the next area that you need to go to anyway to progress is like smart design. It's just like it guarantees that you actually see new stuff while you're doing it. It guarantees that you don't feel like your time is wasted when you're doing it. And even during that quest, I was still leaving that fucking dog to fend for himself so I could go learn more shit about Phoenix and then light up another tower to see the next fucking set of things I can go do. Like it's it's predatory. These games they're all built on predatory design. I've been working in slot machines for the last 15 years. And nothing I've ever done in any of those has been as predatory as some of the games I've played. We put cancel buttons on things on purpose so you can't click stuff by accident. God. Anyway, we're not going to have any of those problems tonight because we're here to do some demo disc dives. We're heading back to the world of Xbox tonight. It's been a hot minute since we have gone through the Xbox games, or the Xbox demo discs. The last one we did, we got to watch a man look at his own abs get scanned into a video game. Pretty good stuff. So I'm looking forward to whatever these discs have to offer us tonight, especially because, as usual, and I mentioned this before, OG Xbox is kind of a blind spot for me for a lot of things. There are plenty of things that I know about its library in general, but I never had one. I didn't get an original Xbox until many, many, many years later. And I mean, like, post having an Xbox 360, you know. For a very long time, most of my experience with OG Xbox was whatever games were backwards compatible on the 360, back when they would make a handful of games backwards compatible every month. If y'all remember that. The blind spot is like 5 games that all have PC versions. Well, yeah, so that's the other thing. So like so we were a GameCube family, you know, so it's not like I wasn't not getting access to a lot of these games, but there were, but also, you know, Xbox, PS2, and GameCube is, no, I'm not. I was gonna say it was like maybe like the last generation where like true console exclusives existed, but that's not true at all. Like it was maybe even more severe during the following generation of 360, PS3, and Wii. Like there was very little cross-platform availability on those. Halo and KOTOR were mostly it. And what's fun, and so funnily enough, neither of those are things that I'm personally was ever interested in. So I always felt that we made the right move getting a GameCube. I mean, we got a GameCube actually for my dad. One of the rare occasions where where a game console ended up in the family as a present to one of the parents as opposed to the kids. And it had everything to do with us seeing the GameCube while we were visiting an uncle in New York in 2002. An interesting time to decide to fly to New York. My uncle had a GameCube. He was an early adopter of it, and we spent a fair amount of time on a trip to New York. Like, we were there on vacation, family vacation, and we spent a not insignificant amount of time playing the Resident Evil remake. And that blew our minds. And then we went to like the big Toys R Us that used to be like in Times Square, and saw Rogue Squadron or Rogue Leader, whichever the Star Wars game. Saw that running on a GameCube and could not believe how good that looked. And it was very much one of those things where just kind of like, well, shit. Between the Xbox, the PS2, and the GameCube is the one that has the games on it that we're really liking. RE was timed exclusive for game. Well, RE1 remake was only GameCube. Like, that didn't come even to PC until like years later. Obviously RE4 was the one that then had the PS2 release for it eventually. But point being, it, just like so many other times, it came down to the library. It just came down to what are the things that look interesting, what are the things that look fun, and what we saw in the early days of the GameCube as opposed to the Xbox and the PS2. GameCube had it. GameCube absolutely had it. So it was funny because it was one of the only time that I can recall where it was my mom, my brother, and me all went Christmas shopping for my dad to go find a GameCube. You know, like, this was like, obviously this was 2002, right? So, you know, Santa's out of the picture, well out of the picture by now. you know, like a lot of that stuff has gone away, and it's very much more about just kind of like, all right, well, now we don't have to like pretend this, you know, about stuff or whatever. Like we can just start doing fun stuff for each other. And so the GameCube was the big one. And of course, what actually happened was we got the GameCube for our dad, and then me and my brother played it 100 times more than he did. Which was the exact same story of the PS1. It was the same thing. Like we would go to bed, and then my dad would stay up until like nearly sunrise, like playing Myst on the PS1. To this day, I don't know if he's ever gotten off of the first island. But back in the day, you know, Myst, which is funny because like for PC players, Myst had already been out for a little bit. But you have to look at it through the perspective of people who were getting a PlayStation for the first time. Had just never seen a game that looked like that. You know, it looks very primitive now, but at the time, you just never seen a game that looked that good. And was that like obscure and weird about what you're even meant to do. They just kind of like, they just hand you a mystery to solve. And you just have to figure it out. And that just wasn't a thing. That just wasn't a thing that we did, you know, not as console gamers, not growing up with, when we grew up, like our household was an Atari 7800, an NES, and a Genesis. But the Genesis, I've told that story before. We got the Genesis and the PS1 on the same Christmas. Best Christmas ever. But yeah, so like to my parents, video games were Centipede, Galaga, Asteroid, you know, Super Mario Brothers, Tomcat F-14 on the Atari 7800. You know, it was stuff like that. Like that was video games to them. And so the PlayStation was, all I remember about how my parents felt about the Sega Genesis was that my mom just always said it made her feel sick because Sonic the Hedgehog moves too quickly. And that was really it. They never really engaged with that system at all, with the exception of Miss Pac-Man being on it, which is a really good version of Miss Pac-Man, by the way. Otherwise, it was the PS1, and the PS1, it was kind of the same thing. Like my mom didn't really care one way or another about it, but my dad, it was Myst and Colony Wars. He would play those, and obviously and Air Combat, which was Ace Combat before they changed the name of it. Like those games, he would just play crazy amounts of them, but I feel bad in hindsight because like he had to wait until like we had gone to bed. And as we got older and older, that took longer and longer and longer, you know, to the point where then he had to try to like sneak in games like before work. Like it was very much, yeah. Dad did not give very much gaming time to himself, unfortunately. Now he does. I mean, he's retired now, so he can just do whatever the fuck he wants at this point. Remember my dad keeping notes on Myst in the early 90s? Yep. What's funny is my brother just played through the Riven remake maybe a month ago or so, and he actually sent me pictures of the physical notes he was writing down, because you have to learn how the fucking numbers work in that game. And he sent me, I remember he sent me the first picture, and he was just like, he said, I can't believe I have to do this again. And it was the same notes that he and I have both written down at least a dozen times each of what each symbol aligns with for each number. And I responded with, there are two sets of numbers on the remake. and you just seem like, son of a bitch. It's, yeah, I mean, like there are still a handful of games that are, you know, like note takey kind of things, but you know, there are, I mean, the best games now just have like built-in note systems with them, you know, and ways to like take screenshots in game and stuff like that. But yeah, just like some old school, like pen and paper, get a notebook out and start writing some shit down. There's not a lot of those really left. The first melody I remember learning on piano is the theme in the Rocket. Oh, wow. That's awesome. My mom was randomly cracked at a few NES games because she would play the arcades at her old bartending job. Yeah, that was not true for my mom. My mom was never good at games. I guess her and my dad, like when they were dating, they would go like to arcades and stuff like that. Or, well, back in the day, you could just go to a gas station, as a matter of fact. And there used to be arcade cabinets like at 7-Elevens in Vegas back in the day. And it was mostly her watching my dad play Tron and Asteroids. But she really liked Track and Field was her go-to, which is such a good fucking arcade game. But I'm almost positive I told the story about the time that we were at my grandma's house, because I basically grew up at my grandparents' place because both of my parents worked. So when my brother and I were very young, we would just stay with grandma and grandpa during the day, and then they would come pick us up, you know, later on in the evening. And this is no exaggeration. We would spend all fucking day playing the NES and the Genesis. That's where we had that's where we got exposed to the Genesis for the first. Was my grandparents actually had one. That's where I played Rocket Knight Adventures for the first time. And on the rare occasion that we would be over there and my mom would feel like actually playing with us, it was always one of the most stressful things you can possibly imagine, because she is one of these kind of gamers. She's what, jump Mario, jump. She's one of those, right? When you move the controller, it makes him jump farther. One of those mindsets. And I remember, God, it's so weird how it's like a fucking like core memory for me. We were all playing Super Mario Brothers, and we were taking turns like on deaths and level completions. And this was the first time that we were playing as a group that we made like actual like progress, right? Like I had beaten Super Mario Brothers already kind of on my own. This is the first time that it was just like my brother, me, and my mom actually playing it like as a trio. And we got to level 8-1, which is significant. We were doing the warp pipes and everything, but we still got there. And depending on how much of that game you have committed to memory, there is a very specific jump in 8-1 where it's a big gap, a one block platform, and then another big gap, right? It is, on first glance, one of the most stressful white knuckle jumps you have to make in that game, if you're doing the warp pipe stuff. And it was my mom's turn with the controller, on that, on that level. And for you kids who aren't aware, the Nintendo was wired controllers, right? Like everything was on wires. We did not have the benefit of wireless anything. So we had the TV, and then the TV was on top of an entertainment system. The entertainment system had a glass door in front of it, which the Nintendo sat behind. So the wire for the controller was actually running underneath that glass door out to us sitting on the floor, a whole 3 feet away from the television screen. And she got to that jump and went, "Oh, go!" and pulled her controller like she was trying to hook a fucking marlin. And the NES, the glass door popped open as the NES flew out and landed basically in my lap. Shockingly, the NES didn't stop working, because usually if someone like sneezed 2 rooms away, that would be enough to like jostle the contacts and then like you would lose all your progress. Somehow yanking this thing across the entire fucking guest room didn't do that. And I don't know, what I don't remember is if she made the jump or not. What I do remember is me being, I don't know, maybe 10 years old or so, saying to my mom, "Okay, no more, you're done," and taking the controller away from her. Like basically doing to her what she would do to my brother and I if we ever got like really, really angry and started pitching a fit because we were losing at a video game. I basically like put her on restrictions. It's like, no, like you're not allowed to do this anymore. It's like you're going to break things. Yeah. So the Wii was a godsend for her specifically, because it meant she didn't have to fuck around with wires anymore. And now when she did this, the thing actually, it did matter how fast you move the controller, because it did make you bowl better. It did make Mario jump higher. It did all the stuff. So she was just she was just 20 years too early to the process. I don't know how the fuck I ended up on that tangent. We just kind of just started just telling like childhood stories all of a sudden. All right, we gotta get to doing stuff. But before we get into the demo discs, guess who stopped at the gas station again and found new different snacks to try? Now, last time we did the mini Flamin' Hot Funyuns in the tube. I don't recommend them. They're okay, but you're better off just getting just like the full size Flamin' Hot Funyuns. That's the way to go. This time, I have gone for Mexican Cheetos. We have Horneados Cheetos Bolitas. I believe that these are chili flavored Cheeto balls. And you should know that these contain exceso calorias exceso sodio. So these are muy bad for you. I think it is hilarious that they have to put what is essentially like the Surgeon General's warning on cigarettes. They have to put that on Cheetos to be kind of like, hey, there's a lot of fucking salt in these. But we're gamers, so we don't care about our health. Yeah, that smells like some chili flavored chips. I gotta say, a pretty decent fill on the bag. I don't know how well that plays, but That's not a lot of excess air. I've definitely opened a bag of chips where there's like 3 chips in the fucking bottom of it, and the rest of it you just paid $3.69 for someone else's CO2. All right. If you ever wanted to watch me put a pair of balls in my mouth, here it is. Oh, those like completely fall apart. Those are all right. They very much have that kind of like, almost like chili cheese, like Frito kind of thing going on. They're not bad. You know what I like about them? Under the whole chili powder experience of it, it still actually tastes like a Cheeto. Like, I feel like that's the thing that they miss on a lot of these like crazy flavor snacks or whatever, is like it misses, they end up like breaking the element of the thing that like you come to the snack for in the first place. And I feel like they have done a good job honoring that here. It's a little more subdued, but like the texture's there, and yeah. Finally, we got a winner. We finally got a winner on one of these. Fuck you, Japan. Why have you been ruining all the snacks that we've been trying on this channel before? Those are all right. Unfortunately, they're not the only ones. I also got these. And I got these because of that indicator right there, which claims extra flamin' hot. Now, I'm not going to go crazy on these, because I need to talk into a microphone. And this could go real fucking bad. These do smell more intense than your typical Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Now, I still do like Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I don't have them very often anymore. But every now and again, I will get like a wild hair and be kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. In this case, I was just kind of like, all right, well, let's see what kind of like the Mexican variant takes on this. Now, what's interesting on here is that they actually list in their flavors down here. They do say cheese, chili, and limon, which I'm really not a fan of. In a lot of snacks, like honestly, like you'll hear me, I will talk some mess about like some Mexican snacks specifically. I love Mexican food. I love like Mexican food is maybe my favorite. It's hard to deny like how good like enchiladas and burritos and tacos and carnitas, oh my god, and like al pastor, like there's so many awesome, even just like fucking chips and salsa, like, you know, like it is hard to deny how goddamn good Mexican cuisine is until you get to their snacks, and specifically their candy. I got problems with you, Mexico, and what you think candy is, because your version of candy is what I think white people call seasoning. What if we took a lollipop and dumped a bunch of chili powder and salt all over it? And it's just it ain't for me. I'll say that much. All right, let's get ourselves a chonker here. Interesting. It is a different flavor. I would have suspected, maybe after this whole thing, it's actually just going to be just like normal Flamin' Hot. It is a slightly different flavor. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. And immediately more like, they're not lying. Immediately it is like spicier than like typical Flamin' Hot is. Which honestly, Flamin' Hot, like Prime, is not, they're not joking. I think one of the reasons that I loved Flamin' Hot Cheetos growing up as a kid so much was the fact that they made good on their premise, you know, and they have maintained that through all of their years. Like they still remain. You kind of have to go through a few of them to get there, but they'll give you a fight if you're feeling frisky. All the ingredients are in Spanish, so I'm not even sure 100% what we got going on here. I definitely recognize corn. And sodium bicarbonate. Honestly, these are really fucking good. Hey, you know what? When it comes to the Cheetos brand, Mexico has it fucking going on. I think they nailed it. They unlocked something over there. Is it cool if I do this like directly into the microphone? Is that more fun for you guys? Sorry. The people watching this at home who they can feel their like teeth fillings vibrate. All right. We've reminisced. We've got snacks in ourselves. Now we're ready for some fucking video games, or at least videos about video games. I had toyed with the idea. Uh-oh. Don't mind me. Just had something just go down the wrong pipe real quick. Okay. Also, by the way, it looks like we did drop a handful of frames earlier. So if you're watching this on Twitch, if you want to like pause and unpause real quick, it'll probably get you back up to speed with where I am in real time. I hate that I have to say it, but it keeps fucking happening. All right. You guys want to finally get into, I've been sitting here teasing you all night, literally for an hour now, teasing you guys with the thing that we're going to do tonight. Let's actually do it. Let's waste no more time. I apologize. I turned into a real streamer there for a second, and that's not the kind of person that I want to be. You know what that sound means. It's time to head on over to some demo discs. Away we go. So this is Official Xbox Magazine, issue 9. Oh, what I was going to say before is, I was playing with the idea, I don't know, you guys tell me if this sounds interesting at all, but I found a website that's just a digital archive of all kinds of gaming magazines, including Official Xbox and Official PlayStation Underground. And I had the thought of maybe when we do these, I don't think we're gonna do it tonight, but taking a look at like the actual like physical issue of the magazine that came out with these discs, because they do cover two different things, right? The discs had to be like, they're on two completely different like production cycles. So what's on the disc is not necessarily what's covered in the magazine. I can tell you specifically on this one, the magazine was actually about Metal Gear Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, because that was the Xbox release of Metal Gear 2, which I do not think is represented on this disc at all. So it might be interesting And if for no other reason than just like see like old ads in it. But we might try incorporating that later on down the road with these. Let's see what we got for demos here. All right, we got Crazy Taxi 3. So the last time they made a Crazy Taxi game without using a bunch of bullshit AI.
Welcome back,
We got Hunter the Reckoning is back on here. Outlaw Golf, Street Hoops. Oh, that's it. That's all that's on here. Okay, not a lot going on in the ways of demos. We do have a Dead or Alive 3 bonus pack. Dead or Alive just came up in conversation in the Discord the other day, and now all of a sudden we're being inundated with stuff. Because they also talk about Dead or Alive Extreme in the fucking magazine, which, man, those games. They exist. They definitely exist, that's for sure. That fucking stock sound effect of a car peeling away. One of these days, I'll actually play a Dead or Alive game. I'll give it like a proper attempt. Because I'm still not sure that I've ever, but I must have played like the demo for one at some point. Maybe on like the 360 even. But my problem, and I've said this before, is I always confuse Dead or Alive with Virtua Fighter. And I know they're not the same game, but in my brain they are. Yeah, we'll do the volleyball games first. Yeah, yeah. When I say I'm going to do a Dead or Alive game, what I mean is I'm going to play through the Extreme games and then Dead or Alive Paradise on PSP. We're going to go to Zack's Island. And we're going to romance Kasumi or whatever the fuck her name is. Classic kill a helicopter with a bow and arrow, obviously. Oh! I didn't realize that this was just like straight up a demo. Oh, now I'm getting really awful deja vu that we actually did this on the last one. Is that true? This menu seems familiar to me. Oh no. Well, I said that one day I was going to play a Dead or Alive game. We might as well do it now. Let's play as Hitomi. She's the Ryu. Fuck, I think we may have actually played a Dead or Alive demo on one of these discs before. I don't remember. I can't remember.
Get ready, fly.
Okay, that's a dedicated block button. And is that a dedicated throw button? Are these games really just like one punch and one kick?
Great.
Great! You kicked that guy off of a cliff! Wow, the audio, all of this audio is so compressed. Well, why haven't I been playing Dead or Alive games my whole life? I'm obviously awesome at them. Instant loading is pretty. That's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. That would have impressed me back in the day. Especially Jesus Christ. Just slamming her against anything with atoms in it. No, after you know, like I'm so used to like Tekken 3 where there's a loading screen between every single fight. And if you're playing against Mokujin, there's a loading screen between every round even. I guess there's no translation for Oshu. That was gonna be hard without the floating islands. No, it turns out I'm just as lethal in the snow as I am in a winter wonderland. Whoa, 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 whoa! That was pretty cool. Okay, we absolutely played this before. We absolutely did. Because I remember specifically like setting people into the cage and making sparks fly. Man, God, I did turn into a streamer. It really happened. This is the stream where it finally all clicked. Spent an hour talking about absolute bullshit, including stories I've already told before. Did a taste test of some snacks that like don't like aren't adventurous at all, and then played a game that he's already played before, having completely forgotten that we've done this already and recently. Oh man. I should have just played Final Fantasy. I should have just stayed playing Rebirth.
Get ready,
Okay, the computer is deciding to fight back all of a sudden now. There we go.
winner! Get ready, fight!
It feels pretty good. The counter stuff is crazy. I'm shocked at how fluid it is. And I have to imagine those are like unique animations for each character. Hey, we did that whole thing having lost, I think, 1 round. All right, so I'm the best Dead or Alive player in the world. I'm glad we solved that mystery. All right, what we got on the features here? We got Bruce Lee, Quest of the Dragon. We got Oh, okay. We're back into the developers commentary. Right, we had done the developers commentary for Halo on the previous disc. Quantum Redshift, the making of Hunter Reckoning. Oh my God, POD is on here. Okay. What's the video verdict? What do we got? Crash Bandicoot, Jet Set Radio Future, Legacy of Kain. Are these like video reviews maybe? Okay, we got a lot of video content. No shit. Oh damn it, I'm sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. All right, let's see what this Bruce Lee game is all about. Did this come out?
Any person who attains complete mastery reveals their presence of mind in every action.
You are the champion of this monastery and of those who cannot fight. Our future.
It did. It got a 3.1 from GameSpot.
You have betrayed my father and me. You must recover the relic before it falls into their hands.
To this day, apparently there's one pose that every enemy is defeated in.
All is fair in love.
I think this game might be about dads. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do I need to check this game out? we might have to put this game on the backlog. I don't know. These Xbox demo discs are dangerous. We've already added fucking Drakon onto the backlog, legitimately, as a result of these. That trailer alone might have been enough just to laugh at the game. To this day, have never seen a Bruce Lee movie. Total
This game has not yet been rated.
filmic blind spot for me. In fact, I've watched more movies inspired by Bruce Lee than I have actually seen Bruce Lee movies, by which I mean I've seen most Tarantino movies. There aren't that many. Yeah, it's a fairly small list. It's the same with Jackie Chan. Like, I've not seen any Jackie Chan movies, unless you want to count Rush Hour, I guess. But I would consider those a different type of movie than what he was actually known for. But it's like whatever the famous one. It's like City Cop or something. Whichever one was the one where he did like the crazy stunt where he like dove through like 5 panes of glass in a mall and like legitimately hurt himself. Super Cop, thank you. I knew Cop was in the title. All right, let's listen to some developers who do not have media training talk about the making of Halo. Hopefully it'll be different gameplay footage this time.
I'm one of the monks. I also write the music for Halo and work on the sound design.
It's the same fucking footage. It's the same footage.
Bigger than you think, O'Donnell. Joseph Staten, I do all the cinematics and otherwise pester Marty.
Yeah, all the time. But we have to work together as a team because what is visuals without audio?
That's true. Good point. And this is an excellent example of just that,
Right,
that relationship,
This
Marty.
opening, somewhat cutscene, but you still have control of the camera, but action is still happening on the screen.
Hey, this actually happens a lot in the first level, which is what we're seeing now. The player is actually taking camera control away from me,
Right.
which makes me nervous. But at the
Right.
same time, sets up really cool cinematic moments that we've just essentially set up different things that are going to happen in the environment, be they explosions that trigger when you run by them, or guys that run up to you and have something
Just gonna
important
sit here
to
and
say.
watch
Little
this.
in-level cinematic
Every
moments
piece
that
of
are very
shrapnel
cool.
has its own metallic hit sound when it hits, and you know where it's hitting because you have surround sound on, everybody, right?
Don't badger them, Marty.
Oh,
if they
well,
have
sorry.
the system, they'll use it.
It's a good system.
But really, this whole first part of the game, when you're on your ship, the Pillar of Autumn, this big, massive, kilometer-long cruiser, you are essentially being boarded by the aliens, and we really wanted to give the player in real time that feeling of panic, terror, as the aliens tear through your ship.
And there's Mendoza.
Mendoza actually got the...
I appreciate what they're doing here by giving us like different people from this team coming in with all their different perspectives on everything. That's really cool. And I know that when these discs released, there was a month between each one of them every time. They did not think ahead to a future where someone would be on a thing called the internet and be watching these back to back and just wouldn't want to see the exact same footage of the same game 3 goddamn times in a row. And something tells me there's going to be a part 4.
Marines each have unique personalities and names.
And look
because-
at that throw. That's a great grenade throw.
Great moment. So every time you meet a new Marine, he's going to, well, maybe have something interesting to say, but he's going to have a unique voice, and that voice will stay with him throughout his lifetime.
Which is brief.
If you're trying to protect them.
Oh.
And this is a part of an insertion cinematic, what we call the cinematic moments at the beginning of a level, where we introduce the level to the player, show them the environment they're going to fight in, maybe show them a preview of the enemies they're going to face, that sort of thing.
And hear the ambient background of the birds and the wind and the Covenant dropship coming from far away, and the music swelling as you see the sun.
And this is actually a pretty challenging
Of course,
environment.
you're not hearing that at this moment. You're hearing us.
Right, sure.
But, okay, just pretend.
But a pretty challenging environment to actually try to create cinematics for and add sounds to, just because it is so big.
Of course, the sound guys are the fun ones.
Which is echoing off the cliffs, and it really truly is echoing because we have environmental modeling, digital signal processing chip on the Xbox, which we can set to all sorts of environmental
The funniest
models.
people are the ones who
This is a huge
don't have their faces buried in code all day.
And this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger shot.
I don't know why you refer to that as the Schwarzenegger shot.
Don't you
when
remember
it's
that movie?
clearly a sort of Godard. Anyways, that's another insertion cinematic, again, showing the player who they're going to fight, where they're going to fight them.
Yep.
And if you're quick enough on this level, you can actually steal one of the Banshees, this alien flying vehicle, from the aliens before they're able to get into it.
And to show you how big it is, I think if you were to get in this Banshee and just fly straight across to the other side, it still takes you like 20 seconds.
It's a really big
And every
space.
one of those little plasma hits, when it hits the wall, has its own little unique burning sound. Which
Actually,
was partially my mouth noise, by the way, for those of you who didn't know that.
That's gross, dude.
Yeah, okay.
But
Mouth
I mean,
noises are good for games, trust me. Because you know
they're
what,
good
everybody
for
else...
something else,
hey,
too.
hey!
Edit that out.
All right.
One of these guys
Okay,
sounds a lot like
Look at those.
what's his face from Super Mega.
Great. You know, whenever you
Matt.
kill one of those creatures, you should definitely get up close and just look at it for a while, because it's unbelievable what it looks like.
Actually, we don't really spend a lot of time luxuriating on and actually showing you.
Sounds
the
a
aliens
lot
and
like Matt from
cinematics,
Super
which is
Mega,
too bad
actually.
Because every little piece of them has a sound when it clanks. This hunter's armor, his shield,
Right.
for
Even
example.
when he's breathing, he makes sounds, and it's tied directly to the way his idle animations work, and then his action animations.
My favorite sound I think I've heard that you've created so far, Marty, though, is when you sneak up behind one of these hunters and you melee attack them in the game, and then, I'm not going to spoil it, but you just got to listen to the sound they make when they die, when they fall forward and die.
Gabonk.
It's good stuff. Think watermelon wrapped up in a big thing of tinfoil.
Right, baseball bat.
Hitting the ground.
Yeah. So this is good here. You got the sniper rifle. You get in close.
Hey,
Does this
Marty,
remind you of anything?
Does this look familiar, Marty?
Oh, yeah, but I was on that other end.
Oh wait, if that didn't look familiar, does this look familiar?
No.
Oh, Martin!
What? Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That should remind you of every single time you ever faced me in multiplayer, muchacho.
I know. But that's because I actually spend my time working rather than playing till I get good.
Hey, if you listen really close, I think you can hear that.
These guys have an interesting dynamic.
And the snowflakes actually hitting the ice. Every detail is in this game.
And the cool thing about, well, I mean, this is just cool, right?
This is totally cool.
I'm sort of mesmerized by it. Take that, dang!
Yeah.
And actually, the first
And the
time I saw
ghosts
this, the
coming
ghosts
out,
actually
that
Is this what Vlano and I sound like when we're together?
The physics are really fun to work
This is
with.
basically
So
what
we
our
actually
it's
tag
basically
sounds
identical
and then work with
commentary,
the
yeah.
actual physics of the environment. That means the sounds do things that we weren't even planning on them to do once you start working with them in the environment.
I'm always randomly
So as
busting out the
hovercraft gets
weird
nearer, further away
moans.
And bounces, the sound actually responds. And crash, there you go. Sound of metal crashing into metal.
What you're saying, Marty, is it's all about putting the puzzle pieces into place and then just letting the player go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We need to throw a filter on one of these guys' voices in order to really
Oh, sorry.
really match the energy.
There's the tank that looks broken, but it's not. See, because he starts it up. And working on
how long
engine
this
sounds
goes
for these
on.
things is also a blast because the engines, you can tell exactly what's coming at you from behind. Something's coming at you from behind. You can tell some little creature walking up to you or some huge tank driving up to you. You don't even have to see it.
a lot of the time in Halo, when you're going through these big environments, we are built-in moments of transition. This, that we haven't created the cinematic for it yet, is going to be one of those situations where you come into a new environment.
I forgot about the part where the
person and figuring out a way to pull back
the level doesn't have proper collision detection for the tank weapon. Great stuff. I do not remember this quantum redshift thing. This is now part 5 of this, but this doesn't sound familiar at all. All right. So they wanted to make their own Wipeout. Looks all right. This is like gonna be fun for a session or two. It's the whole thing, huh? All right, great. All right, let's find out how they made Hunter the Reckoning.
This summer,
a not very good video game.
As Interplay Entertainment and High Voltage bring White Wolf's popular pen and paper game, Hunter the Reckoning, to the console world. With incredible graphics.
I don't think I knew that Hunter was
action,
based on a TTRPG.
The hottest Xbox title of the year. And now, for the first time ever, you will enter into this mysterious world, watch never-before-seen footage, and hear directly from the creators of the game. Welcome to Hunter Underground.
Hunter is a fast-paced action game that takes place in White Wolf's World of Darkness. It's really a throwback game. Reminds me a lot of the old Gauntlet series, Smash TV. In our game, you're playing up to one to 4 players on a shared screen cooperatively. So there's no deathmatch or anything. You're all playing together to achieve a common goal. And to me, that's what the best part of the game is. We haven't had any cooperative console games in a long time. And it's just cool to see that old school game come back, and it's gonna rock the house.
This is the perfect game just for non-stop action. You sit down, you pick it up right away.
It's funny to hear him talk about, it's been a long time since we've had like on console multiplayer experiences, but we're not that far away from like the Dreamcast exists right now. Like there are as a matter of fact, I think we have a lot. I think most games that have multiplayer things are shared console stuff. I know he's speaking more specifically to like co-op experiences, but even then, like there's still I would argue that they're more rare now than they were then. And even now that's not even really true. It's just that obviously they're not like on console anymore. You know, like now they're just a lot more just online multiplayer games, all that friend slop stuff, you know. I wonder how these guys like reacted to like the shift in that gameplay focused style that we have now, as opposed to this, which is like, yeah, you used to have to get like fucking like 4 people in a room together. No one does that anymore.
It's a blast to play. There's stuff coming at you from every side. There's all kinds of weapons to pick up. The explosions are great. The visuals are great. It all works together just perfectly.
Hunter has 4 characters, 2 male, 2 female. The one you've seen the most of is most likely Deuce, 7 foot tall.
I'm digging this guy's
his
fit.
Axe and his rifle. He's an Avenger.
Of,
we have Father Esteban Cortez,
of turtleneck with leather jackets, I believe.
He is very magically inclined, likes to use his edges. We have Cassandra Cheon, who's the real quick character, almost like the elf in Gauntlet. She's a martial artist, carries 2 guns, 2 knives, and just goes head first into the action. And we have Samantha Alexander, ex-cop, very balanced character, great accuracy, real good with her sword, and the healer of the group.
Hunter has a lot of different monster variations. The basic monster in the game are the zombies, and they're just sort of the fodder for the hunters, just something to hack through. So we have creatures who are anywhere from human beings with a slight disfiguration to some huge things known as war ghouls that are just basically a big conglomeration of different human beings formed into one big giant fighting machine.
There's about
it's kind of a fun monster design
that you have to go through from beginning to end to get whole game. Our levels are, you know, they start in the streets of the city and you get taken into, like, you know, in the depths of the prison, you go into the morgue, you go into like these different like cell blocks. So you get to see a wide range of levels and you get to see all the cool stuff the artist did.
I really like the streets level. There are a ton of zombies all coming at you at the same time, and you basically have to just try to fight them all off. It's sort of like one of those old movies, like Night of the Living Dead or something like that.
The graphic elements.
We're all seeing the gameplay, right? Like, we're all seeing the same.
Are some of the best I've seen on the Xbox, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of independent eyes have said the same thing. That was obviously the decision we made early on to really go after Xbox and really.
I've played very little of this game, but it's matching my memory in that it was just.
A little bit, you can really.
It's mostly just really just clunky and mindless.
I think most people, hardcore gamers buying the game, would be very happy with it. It's a lot of fun. It's something new and totally unique to that.
You sound really convicted in that there, Amy.
Beautiful graphics, deep story, great license. Hunter's the game for you. Guaranteed you'll have a ball.
You won't. You won't. Look, there's plenty of worse games you can play, but like, go play any of the Gauntlet games that they like kept actively name dropping. All right, is this the POD that I think it is? Oh. No. It's some more Halo shit. Was really hoping we were gonna get some early 2000s metal, but I guess instead we have this highlight reel of just various configurations of blowing up a bunch of dudes in Halo.
Killing spree, running riot.
Holy shit. Y'all ever play Unreal Tournament? Because you get a high enough kill streak and they start swearing at you. All right, top 10 plays of the month. Here we go. These traditionally have been just video packages of normal ass gameplay. So let's see if we've gotten anything more interesting this time around. Wow, Burnout 1. Okay, that was just someone crashing, which is what you don't want to do in the first Burnout game, actually. All right, a home run. Okay. All right, that was a decent goal. More original Burnout. I don't know. I don't think I realized that like Burnout 1 came out on the Xbox. I thought that was like a GameCube exclusive of all things. And then the rest of the Burnout games came out on everything other than GameCube. more Hunter gameplay, more FIFA gameplay. And then this game that I don't think is out yet. That name sounds vaguely familiar, but why do I feel like that didn't come out until it was like a 360 game? I might be completely misremembering that. No, it did come out. It did come out on original Xbox. September of 2002, as a matter of fact. Okay, I typed quantum redshift, just the words quantum redshift into Google. And there was a Reddit thread from 2 years ago titled "Say Something Nice About Quantum Redshift."
And of those who cannot fight. Our future.
The top comment is Booba. So there you go. All right, what's up with the video verdict? I don't know. I think that this might be new to this issue. Oh, okay. So it's just kind of like a handful of just a handful of like reviews. That's kind of neat. I kind of dig this actually. So Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex is not very good. It's okay in that way that like nah, what am I talking about? It's just, yeah. Spyro went to Traveler's Tale, or no, sorry, Crash went to Traveler's Tales and Spyro went to Vivendi, I think. And when they leave the original developers, there's a certain like soul or spirit or something that's lost with it. Part of that, and this is going to sound really weird, Crash, because Wrath of Cortex and then Twin Sanity, something about like the weird like smoothness of the game, of like the frame rate and the gameplay of the Xbox and the PS2 made the games feel weirdly like cheap. And it's kind of a difficult feeling to describe, but the PS1 games, like I love that original Crash Bandicoot trilogy, and I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but something about like the frame rate on the PS1 along with kind of how specific like the animation is, because Crash is like animated like at the same frame rate as the gameplay almost. So there's not a lot of like excess frames and stuff. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel as good. It's like weirdly like floaty. In all of the games outside of the PS1 original. And the same is true for the Spyro games. They just don't feel as good to play, which by all accounts, they should absolutely be better. The frame rates are better. The analog control is like actually like real, you know, like there's a lot of stuff like working in its favor. The draw distance exists as opposed to the PS1 games where it kind of doesn't at all. But yeah, they just don't feel as good. And that could also be like some full ass like nostalgia bias on my part. But if I'm being honest, that's how I feel about a lot of this generation. Is a lot of games from like the Xbox and PS2 generation, they just, I don't know. There's just a lot of like weird like floatiness to a lot of games from this era, especially in the platformer side of things. Like they were doing more interesting stuff visually, and the games weren't like the worst feeling in the world, you know, but at the same time, they just, I don't know, I just never felt any like level of connection with any of them. All right, what do they have to say about Jet Set Radio Future? 9.2. Interesting, because I feel like most people don't like Future as much as they like the original Jet Set Radio. I feel like anytime I see people talk about them, like The first Jet Set Radio is the one that everybody points to as like, hell yeah, that's the game. And then Future is just like, yeah, it's whatever. Both of these games, I believe, are on the backlog. I've talked before about everything about them on paper feels like I should be super fucking into them. But there was just something about like the pacing of them or the controls or something. It just never really clicked with me at the time. So I want to give them another shot. Because they sure look cool and stylish. I think my brain just rejects anything that doesn't feel as good to play as like Tony Hawk 4. Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen 2. 8.5. At some point, we got to start thinking about playing Soul Reaver 2. I played Soul Reaver 1 now, I think several years ago. I may have played Soul Reaver 1. Was that during my first year of streaming? It may have been. Because Soul Reaver and Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Resident Evil remake for GameCube, there were a handful of games that were really high on my list of wanting to get to very quickly, because they were ones that have been sitting on, like, obviously every game that's been sitting on my backlog has been sitting there for a long time, but of those, a handful of them were ones that I was like really wanted to play, because it just felt like wrong that I hadn't like finished them all the way through to the end. And Soul Reaver was one of them. And I ended up coming away from that game not liking it as much as I remembered. There are still very cool things about it, but when all is said and done, it is mostly block pushing puzzles, really basic combat, and despite really phenomenal voice acting, a story that goes truly nowhere. Like nothing is resolved, nothing is revealed, and that game ends on one of the worst to be continues I have ever experienced in a video game. Halo 2 might be the only one worse than it. I think the ending of Halo 2 is fucking infamous at this point, but very much of the opinion that Soul Reaver is remembered rightfully for being really visually impressive and having really wonderful like voice acting and performances in it, and a really cool world and everything. It's also really impressive that there are no loading screens in that entire game. It's one giant environment for you to go explore, and it is like a 3D Metroidvania. You know, there are cool things about it. It's not a bad game. I don't feel, but that said, it is a monotonous one. And the part where it's a video game is actually way less interesting than a lot of the kind of like concepts around it. So I never played like original Blood Omen, which is like the crazy like top-down like sprite-based one. Like Blood Omen a lot, but fell off Soul Reaver because of the block puzzles. See? I don't see Blood Omen being a game that I ever get into, mostly because God, it really sucks when they put a video on this loop that has dialogue in it. Original Blood Omen to me has that look of that kind of like old school RPG about it. It seems very like The vibe I get off of that game is this game never tells you what to do, and you're going to get lost constantly, and you're going to have to fuck around with inventory a lot. And you can make like the wrong decision in places. Like it gives me, there's a lot of things about that original game that I can just tell, I'm gonna like butt heads against. Whereas Soul Reaver, again, like I was taken in by kind of everything about its presentation, more than anything else about it. Like it is way more of a straightforward kind of like action game. Just a Diablo type hack and slash kind of. Huh. See, that's not the, it's so weird. It doesn't give that vibe. The later ones do. The later ones definitely do, but that very first one, it's got a very specific look about it. That said, I don't, again, it's less about like, this looks bad and just more just kind of like, a younger Tony absolutely would not have had any interest in that whatsoever. What did they say about Max Payne? Max Payne scored worse than Jet Set Radio Future. This is Max Payne 1. I believe Max Payne 2 is the one that everybody really, really likes. The graphic novel style of the game is great, but the writing is super craptacular. The voice acting is amateurish. God damn, Xbox Magazine. You're being fucking harsh on the old Max Payne. Excellent graphics, non-stop action-o-rama, bullet time is a blast. The bad. The writing is horrible. Gameplay ain't that deep. Bad voice acting. You know what? My same review for Soul Reaver. I don't know if you saw, but the last line of that was, what's up with Max Payne's permanent perplexed expression? They had no idea how iconic that face would become. I by the way, I skipped the new trailer for Control Resonant at the Gamescom event earlier today. Because I just know that I'm going to play that game, and at this point, I just don't. I want to stop seeing previews for it and spoilers from it. I just want to experience that thing. And then some racing game. I don't know. Rally Sport Challenge. I could not give a shit about. When it comes to driving games, the ones that are just like straightforward, just racing games, ain't gonna do it. I need explosions, or crazy stunts. I need the arcade weirdness of them. That said, in that video clip, we did just see one of them drive up the sheer side of a flat wall, so maybe there's something there. But I'm a Burnout boy all the way through and through. Like that's really what it comes down to. But speaking of insane driving games, hey, Crazy Taxi 3, let's play the demo for this. I suck at Crazy Taxi. I'm really, really bad.
Crazy Taxi 3.
Oh, there's that voice. There's that voice we all love.
High rollers, time to try your luck. Go for it.
All right, we got a 3-minute demo.
Go ahead and pick a car and drive it.
They have, these games have kind of like a slightly odd control style to them, where you have to like, it really just comes down to like just how like the shifting works. But whoop, it's loading. Oh boy. All right, we're good.
Hop in. It's on you.
Oh, come on now.
Thanks much, driver. Make a left.
Oh shit! I think we're supposed to be in Vegas. Well, great then. Oh, if I'm bad at this.
Come on. You know what you do.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, one at a time, please.
By the way, do not judge these games on the qualities of the demos, especially given the way that we are playing these. Because we are emulating these things, so they are emulations of demos, which means that who knows like how accurate this is at all. And by and large, the thing that breaks the fastest on these demos is the audio. Oh, come on. Do the dash. Do the dash.
Let's go! All right. What are you doing? You hit the gas.
Yeah, you need to like it's the flipping between like drive and reverse. Oh god, alright, well he I was too slow.
Hop in. You got great skill. Take me to Canyon's picnic site. Okay, let's go. You're getting a big tip. Fine driving.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Find it.
Okay. You're the best. Enjoy my fine driving. I can't believe you hit that. Wow. Make a right. This way, right? Big tip for you. Okay now.
The voices are so fucking loud.
Make a left. I know what I'm doing. Okay now.
I forgot that there's a jump button.
Go that way. All right. Okay. Yeah. That was so smooth. Wow. You okay? Get in. Anyway, just go. You're gonna have some fun.
Back the other way. No. I wasn't paying attention to the total time at all. Wow, two successful customers. I told you I was dog shit at this game. I'm pretty sure one of the crazy taxis is actually on the backlog because you can, it's the crazy pyramid, I think it's called. So it's like an actual like series of challenges. Yeah, I think the main challenge is going to be, can I get even remotely decent at Crazy Taxi? The answer is probably no. All right. Well, that's going to do it for disc number 1. I don't think anybody really wants to see a demo for Outlaw Golf. So I think we'll call it there, and we'll get our second disc loaded up here momentarily. Not a bad disc by and large. Really the only bummer on that thing was just the fucking amount of Halo that's on it. I would love to get past all of the Halo coverage. Look, I know that I've already said plenty of times that I'm not really a Halo fan, but it's even less about that and more about the fact that, look, Halo's fucking massive. Halo remains massive. Halo remains extremely fucking popular. No matter how many bad games they make, people still stick by them. So it's more that I just don't find it as interesting to look at on these discs, because it's like, no, yeah, it was a huge success and everybody knows everything about these games. You know, I want more of the weird stuff. I want more of like the behind the scenes of making of Hunter. Because no one remembers that fucking game. No one remembers that game, and no one thinks about how that game was made. No one thinks about all the passionate people who were behind that license. So I want more of that. I want more of the obscure shit. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Let's see if issue 10 has anything crazier to offer us. Away we go. Xbox at E3, baby. Immediate winner. Immediate winner. What do we got for demos on this one? The Dead or Alive 3 pack is back. Gunmetal, NCAA football, and Time Splitters 2. This is a bummer of a disc.
The High Council finds you guilty as charged.
From
The
a
sentence
demo's
will be 10
perspective.
years. The place of incarceration will be
What do we got
kept
for
as penal
features?
colony.
Oh, god damn it. I told you there was going to be a fucking part 4.
You will accept the council's
All right, but we
decision.
got to first look at Time Splitters. We got to first look at Turok Evolution. The State of Gaming with War Inspector. This will be cool. This will be an interesting time capsule. And top 10 plays. Extra content. All right, we got Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter, which we've talked about before, and Transworld Snowboarding. I think maybe there was like a making of Mace Griffin on one of these other discs. All right, just take me immediately to E3. Look at all the stuff on the E3 list. Let's fucking go. Let's start with Blinks the Time Splitter. Excuse me, Time Sweeper. Other people split. Blink sweeps. You know what's funny? This game did not review well. I always wanted to try it. It is your standard issue platformer, mascot platformer, except you have time powers. And again, like this game is not beloved by anybody. But there's something about mascot platformers where even to this day sometimes I find myself going like, oh, but I bet I'd have like a fun time with that. And then I'll play it for like 45 minutes and be like over it. And that's almost definitely going to happen by the time I get around to playing Blinks. I think it's the promise of one of the games being good, I feel is what motivates it. Also, having growing up on the original Crash and Spyro trilogies, I think will definitely kind of like color your expectations for how platformers should be. And I'm willing to say this without doing any real introspection or consideration that there aren't any platformers as good as the original Spyro trilogy, as the Spyro and Crash trilogies. Hell, I think most of the platformers that actually stand the test of time are the ones from that generation. Pseudo Regalia is really good. Pseudo Regalia is actually really fucking good. Hey, what up, Brute Force? By the way, I'm upset because these are not E3. This isn't E3 footage. These are just trailers of games that I guess were at E3. I was really hoping we were gonna get actual E3 footage. We have seen this trailer before. Yeah. Okay, this one I know for a fact we have watched before, so we're gonna skip that. Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge. We talked about this on one of these previous discs. This game kicks ass. This game is so goddamn good. Also entirely possible that we have watched this before already. Oh no, maybe not. No, this looks a bit different. They're showing some like late game stuff. This game's awesome, on the backlog, and when I get to this game, I know it's going to be a time sink. Like, this game is a lot longer than I think you would suspect it to be. It's kind of pseudo open worldy. It's kind of like Rebirth in that you kind of like move between like different sections of open world areas. Now, Kakuto Kojin, I don't know what the hell this is at all. This doesn't sound even remotely familiar. This is starting to look like a fighting game. Some more Bruce Lee for you. They're not going to call him Bruce Lee, but that's obviously who they're going for. This looks bad. Oh God. Oh no, none of the animation connects with each other. Like these mocap these mocap things like are okay, but then the gameplay, oh my God. You know the question I'm gonna ask. Did this game fucking come out? That looks terrible. Kakuto Kojin. Excuse me, Chojin. Is it Chojin maybe? Kakuto Chojin Back Alley Brutal was the final name of this game.
Mace Griffin.
This did come out. It came out in November of 2002.
The sentence will be 10 years. The place of incarceration
Has a 46% on GameFAQs.
Didn't you listen to a word I said? We were set.
Which I didn't even know that you could rate games on GameFAQs, but I guess you can.
Take him away.
Let's see what the old Wikipedia page has to say about this. It was originally created as a tech demo to show off the graphic capabilities of the Xbox before the decision was made to turn it into a full game. A few months after its release, Kakuto Chojin was pulled from distribution amidst controversy surrounding the religious content featured in the game. Let's fucking go! What is the story here? Okay, reception. I see the thing labeled controversy. I'm going to go to reception first. Kakuto Chojin, though heavily hyped and praised for its graphics, received generally unfavorable reviews, according to Metacritic. Shallow gameplay, weak story mode, lack of bonus materials. Game Informer described it as a Tekken ripoff. Wow, some of the people were actually ex-Tekken developers, including Seiichi Ishii, who's the fucking creator of Tekken. All right, controversy, here we go. Kakuto Chojin was pulled off store shelves. We're gonna mismatch the audio here. It's just we don't get spoiled on stuff coming up. Kakuto Chojin was pulled off store shelves in early 2003 due to accusations of containing offensive religious content. The recall allegedly stemmed from Quran verses chanted in the background of the theme song for Muslim character Assad. That is the same reason. There's another game that got pulled because of Muslim chanting in the background. And I think it was like a kid's game. Microsoft senior geopolitical strategist Kate Edwards consulted with an unidentified Arabic speaker within the company. This latter person vehemently objected to the release of Kakuto Chojin due to its incredible insult to Islam. The game also debuted in North America in the publisher's... Oh, the game still debuted in North America in the publisher's belief that the content would not be noticed. According to a Microsoft spokesperson... Oh, I'm so sorry. According to a Microsoft spokesperson, the company was pressured into destroying unshipped units of Kakuto Chojin containing the chant and attempted to reissue the game as an amended product. However, many uncensored copies still inadvertently made it to retailers. This included locales in which such material is particularly sensitive, like Saudi Arabia, where the issue became headline news. Oh my God. 3 months later, the Saudi Arabian government formally protested, forcing Microsoft to withdraw the game worldwide. That's fucking crazy. Well, the good news is everything has gotten super better since then. That's... Man. Yeah, what the fuck? There was another game. How to Google this? Oh God. Okay, I need to put video game because I'm getting like a bunch of like offensive shit that's happened like at sporting events. List of controversial video games. It might be in here. Kakuto Chojin is actually on this list. Can we get a list? Oh, it's just listed by year. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, let me scroll through this list very quickly to see if I can find. Well, there are a couple of like choice picks on here. It was Little Big Planet. I knew. Yeah, I said it was like a kid-friendly thing. Lyrics from a licensed song, Tafa Nyang, apologies for the pronunciation, were removed due to fears that Muslims would be offended on the basis that it allegedly contained words from the Quran. This led to controversy about the removal itself. God. Jesus Christ. Or whoever. I guess he doesn't apply in this particular situation. Sony recalls Little Big Planet over Quran quote in music. This is an absolute minefield that I should not comment on. Is what I will say. It is wild to me that even having anything that could be like shares some words, and it's not even, it's just like enough to be kind of like, no, can't do that. Like, it's, man. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at Kakuto Chojin, because apparently this game is illegal to have now. So that's the kind of gaming history that I'm looking for on these demo discs. Kung Fu Chaos. Nothing offensive about this game, I bet. Cancel this fucking stream. We are in so much trouble. The views and content expressed in this trailer do not necessarily reflect those of the platform or its participants therein. The good news is that this is gonna get muted to shit, because this is just straight up kung fu fighting. It's just the full ass song. Yeah, that game's fine. Can't quote the Quran in anything, but that game's totally cool. Anyway, Mech Assault. What about just some big robots blowing up some stuff? You know, fun.
This world was green, much like my own, before they burnt it black. We came, bringing fire and retribution. Our footsteps will shake the ground. And they will tremble with fear.
I think I may have added this game to the backlog actually fairly recently. Cause you can blow up like whole ass skyscrapers in it. Run around as a giant robot, blow up everything? Yes, please. Give me that game. No, not Mech Warrior. No, this is decidedly more fast-paced than Mech Warrior. Though I think I said last stream, there is a Mech Warrior 2 on the PS1 is on the backlog. That one is on the backlog mostly because it was one of those like weekend rentals.
We didn't want this war.
That didn't really work out
until every last one of them has fallen.
And so now it's on the backlog to see if I can just figure out how the fuck to play that game. Suspiciously similar designs. I mean, there's only so many ways to draw a robot, you know? There's like 3 robot designs in the world. All right, let's get these sports games out of the way.
He goes airborne. Nothing but white lace. Feeds it inside. Rocket hop. Alley-oop. That makes it a 5-point ball game.
This looks rough.
Boom, down it goes. Pass intercepted.
Just funny because sports games are always like the
Down by Smith.
the big like, oh shit, look at the graphics of the new video game console. Like, it's always the sports games. It's sports games and Gran Turismo.
Hook shot and scored.
But looking at this, just kind of like, I haven't really liked a basketball game since Double Dribble on the Genesis. And even that one I don't really like that much as I thought I did. The actual best basketball game is Tiny Toons Sports Challenge, also on the Genesis. Tiny Toons All Stars Sports or something like that.
Mace Griffin.
That game rules. LeBron joined the NBA the year that game came out. How times have stayed the same? I'm feeling a little warm. I think it's because I got NFL fever.
Tackled by Simmons.
This also looks really rough.
Off the tailback.
You know what's funny? This is showing what I was talking about like platformers and stuff. Like you see what I mean about this? The weird like floatiness of everything. Like nothing's really like. This whole generation is full of games where like nothing's really like attached to the floor. Like nothing's like, there's like no gravity. Or I guess more accurately, there's no friction in a lot of games from this generation. I think that leads to just like just so much like weird like floatiness in so many of these games. Now Panzer Dragoon. These games are pretty cool. Even if they are one note. And not called Panzer Dragoon Saga. In which case you need, I think, about 300 hours to get through disc 1. Love the Saturn one, but never have to play the others. The Sega Saturn, yeah, the first Panzer Dragoon on Sega Saturn was the one that would be in Toys R Us. That would be like the demo game. That was like the demo game for the Saturn. And for many, many years, I had no idea what that game was because I never had a Saturn. And I didn't really know much about the Saturn or even how to get one. So for a long time, I remember like trying to like find this game for like, I think it was on the PlayStation. It looked like a PlayStation game. Like, I don't know why I can't find that Dragon game for the PlayStation. It turns out it wasn't on that fucking console in the first place. But I remember that demo. I remember playing that demo in a Toys R Us and being really impressed by it. Like, that it looked really, really cool. And then they kind of made like no more good games for the Saturn. There's a couple. Sega Saturn's, again, like massive blind spot for me. Just never ever had access to one. But you can now play the Panzer Dragoon remake on Steam, and it's a great way to play it. Saturn was your first console. Wow. Generally fall in love with the medium until PS1. Stretches the definition of dragon for the design. Hey man, there's only so many ways. They're like mechs. There's only so many ways to draw a dragon, you know? Also, it's Panzer Dragoon, so that's how they get away with that. Panzerwurm probably wouldn't have sounded as intriguing. Psychonauts, pretty cool game. Parts of it are cool.
You're about to step into a living nightmare.
A lot of it is also really like clunky platformer collectathon stuff that I don't think people want to admit. But I did enjoy playing through this. Funnily enough, I have actually played through this whole game on my own. Psychonauts feels like a prime candidate for like a backlog game, but I actually played through it. Psychonauts 2, however, on the backlog.
Read minds. Now concentrate. No.
This game has a lot of really, really clever and fun ideas. A lot of really cool like level concepts. But also it is a 3D platformer, and it's kind of clunky. Like that game gets by a lot on its imagination, you know, like the creativeness of the setting and the level design and everything. Like that's what that game gets by on. Because the moment-to-moment gameplay I don't think is that is really that engaging. I'm so upset that none of this is from like the E3 floor. I really wanted to see Xbox at E3. We've been getting so much of it from the Sony side of things and all the PlayStation stuff. I was kind of hoping that we could see original Xbox at E3, because honestly, this to me is I'm more curious about the Xbox appearing at E3 than I am the PS2. Because the Xbox was everybody going kind of like, what the fuck do you mean what do you mean the computer people are making a video game console? Don't they have to keep making Windows? I thought they just kept making different versions of Windows for all of their lives. Is that not what they're doing? They're getting into video games? Like Microsoft releasing the Xbox was equivalent to Sony releasing the PS1. Just kind of like, what the fuck is that company? That company has no business doing that. What are they talking about? So I would much rather see like, how did all that go? All right, here's Shenmue 2. Go ahead, you guys. Talk about how much you fucking love the Shenmue games. It's fine. I won't get in your way.
I really need to find young Dazu. I must avenge my father's death.
Cut it out, guys!
You must not succumb to the evil path.
I was about to say, at least the voice acting sounds marginally better, and then that line proved otherwise.
Take your power for the Chio.
Personal backlog, but pretty far down. Skip them, J-Dub. Skip the Shenmue games. Watch someone else's playthrough on 2x speed. Tao Feng, Fist of the Lotus. Now I know this game sucks. This is a fighting game that wants to be bloody roar. It wants to be bloody roar and Mortal Kombat at the same time, and it's neither of those. Man. A better Kakuto Chojin? Unfortunately, that it's impossible to compare the two anymore. I guess that looks funnier than Kakuto Chojin was. What the fuck is Torque? Other than a motorcycle movie I really need to watch. Okay. I should have known it was going to be like a caveman platformer. Did this eventually become Hack and the Power of Juju? Oh! It's a TF game. This looks about as standard as a platformer goes. There's a couple of like fun looking ideas in there. You guys know the question. Let's find out why this guy got pulled. The full title is Torque Prehistoric Punk. Once again, a Reddit thread. My new Xbox favorite game, Torque Prehistoric Punk.
Mace Griffin, the High Council finds you guilty as charged. The sentence will be 10 years.
Developed by T-Walk, a group formed by former Ubisoft Montpellier employees.
You will accept the council's decision.
Mixed or average reviews. There is a very, very short Wikipedia page about this game. Unsurprised. This came out in 2005. Good lord. Ahead of the curve, putting punk on everything. Yeah. Yeah. What's my aesthetic? I'm into prehistoric punk.
Across the galaxy.
All right. Unreal Championship is not as good. Unreal Tournament.
Their civilization was conquered. Their world was taken away. Their freedom was but a faded memory. And under the bloodthirsty rule of a vile empire, the tournaments were waged with a ferocity as had never before been seen. For the vanquished race, right must be restored. For the vanquished race, a new champion must rise.
This now makes like a third time in about a week that I have thought about Unreal Tournament 2K4.
The champion will require supreme skills, as he will be tested as none.
Which I played an unholy amount of that game.
Unexplored levels. He will be pitted against
And honestly, like exclusive, I think almost exclusively against bots.
untold power as he rises from the ranks of a common fighter. To one day,
I'm sure I must have played it like a couple of times, like on like LAN, like in high school or college. But by and large, I played a lot of 2K4 just playing against bots and just having the time of my life. That game is so fucking good. It kind of makes me want to find it. I remember at my college, Unreal Tournament 3 was just installed on all of the computers at that school, because it was an art school, so the Unreal Engine needed to be installed on everything. And I believe at the time, if you had a license for the Unreal Engine, you just got Unreal Tournament 3 for free. So every computer, it was just a few clicks away from getting completely distracted from what you should have been working on. All right, we're gonna close out this E3 coverage with Whacked, which is another mascot or another character platformer. Except in this one, you're two creatures like handcuffed together. I think. Whoa. Okay, no, this is not. I'm thinking of a different game. I have no idea what the fuck this is. This looks like absolute madness. It is too late at night on a Tuesday to be able to parse what the fuck is going on.
And Lucy wins it!
I dominate this game.
So her character is that she runs around naked. That's her character. That's because they knew their game was boring and sucked. So you gotta lure them in. Man. Well,
Mace Griffin,
not feeling great about all of those games, but there's a few decent ones in there.
The place of incarceration will be
Okay, I reserve the right to bail out of this commentary if it is not interesting.
Hi, so my name's Alex Seropian. I'm a founder of Bungie.
Hi, I'm Hamilton Chu. I'm producer on Halo.
This is Halo. We've been working on this game for, a little over 3 years now. It's a project we started after Myth of Fallen Lords came out. And it's evolved a ton in that amount of time. It started as it was really a small team of a couple of engineers basically working on some technology that they were going to use for an RTS game.
You have 10 seconds to describe something interesting about this game's development.
Those early stages, they wanted to go back to some of our Bungie roots, like Marathon, and started working on what they could do with combining some of the stuff we learned on Myth with some of the action elements of a game like Marathon. And that was sort of the first part of Halo's evolution. In the years that followed, a lot of things happened where, like recently, we got acquired by Microsoft. So
okay, no, they just put those guys in a room and said, like, I don't know, just talk. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not watching that gameplay footage for a fourth time with the people who had like the least to say about anything. At least the last guys were doing jokes.
The High Council finds you guilty as charged.
The sound guys being snarky with each other and doing sarcasm, that I can deal with. Listen to the founder of Bungie being kind of like, so a lot of interesting things happened this year. One of those things is just kind of, oh God. Let's watch a trailer for Time Splitters. I actually very briefly fired up Time Splitters Future Perfect the other night. Not even for any real particular reason. I just kind of wanted to play a little bit of it. And I literally played the first level and then stopped. I'm sure part of that was motivated by the fact that I'm pretty sure both Time Splitters 2 and 3 are both on the backlog. I'm pretty sure. I could check that very quickly while this is playing. The problem is that I think I actually did beat the third one. I just don't remember it. Which, there are a couple of games on the backlog that fall into that category. Yeah, they're both on the backlog. Of games that I'm almost certain I actually did finish, but I just have no memory of it. So they end up kind of being like revisits. It is kind of crazy how exactly Time Splitters like is GoldenEye 007. Because I'm pretty sure Free Radical and Eidos did not make the James Bond games. I feel pretty confident in saying that.
Mace Griffin, the High Council finds you guilty as charged. The sentence
But they pull like just straight up the same UI and everything, like for your health. Turok Evolution. We're gonna get back to this one also. Maybe even this year. Oh, this is early because that UI is different. Man, this is not a good game. This is so not a good game. I have a weird love for it. Also topical because there's a new fucking Turok coming out. And it's literally called Turok Origins because we're still doing that. So you know that game's gonna be good. The trailer that he showed for it looked okay, but it was I think it was almost all like cinematic, so whatever. The thing is that like none of the Turok games are very good. I just have a weird soft spot for this one, only because I had it. Like I had the GameCube version. It was very much one of those ones. I'm pretty sure I bought it. I probably bought that game for like $5 at a GameStop. And just on a whim, it's just like, oh, people like the Turok games. I heard that those are good. And then it's, boy. Again, that's one that I tried playing through my first year of streaming, but that's when I was also doing the crazy thing where I was trying to like, I was playing like multiple games at a time. So I was playing, I was trying to play Guardians Crusade and Turok like at the same time. So like on the same stream, I would play like an hour of each. Which again, I won't retread this territory, but like simple fact being, that was just a bad idea. You know, it's just like a bad move to try to play through, to try to do more than one thing like per stream is just a bad idea, especially because I was doing it like in this time slot. So I was coming out like 7 p.m. Pacific time, not being able to stream for like longer than like 3 hours or so. And being kind of like, yeah, I'm definitely going to play like an hour of each game. I don't know why I thought it was important to like do multiple things in a single stream, because it's really not important at all. And all that means now is that I can just really dive into a proper playthrough of Turok Evolution, and we can all really enjoy that together. All right, Warren Spector.
Games like Blinks, for example.
Talk to me about the state of gaming, and let's see how that aligns with the current Microsoft mission. The future of video games according to Warren Spector. Oh my God, this is going to be infuriating.
We want to change the way people think about games, not just gamers, but parents and teachers and everybody. We think that games are a significant part of our culture, our worldwide culture. It's not just you know, a pastime for kids anymore. Games are mainstream entertainment, more so every single day. But we're at this kind of tipping point right now where, you know, I always hate to say this because I love comic books, but we could go the way of the comic book. We could become marginalized and, you know, just become entertainment for kids now and forevermore. Or we can take our place with movies and literature and television and, you know, more, you know, I can't believe I just described television as a respected medium. But anyway, we can take our place as, you know, real significant adult entertainment. And I think in order for us to do that, we have to stop looking to the past. We have to stop looking to, you know, our old Dungeons and Dragons campaigns and stop looking to previous games
Warren says, fuck you, Baldur's Gate 3.
for inspiration and start thinking about what we can do that no other medium can do. The other thing that's really interesting to me is the academics are starting to pay attention to us, you know. I mean, I'm doing a lot of work with people from MIT and Northwestern and USC and UCal Irvine and, I mean, DigiPen and Full Sail. There are schools that are now teaching
This up-and-coming company called Palantir, I think there's
that sounds horrible, and oh my God, people are going to start talking about semiotics or something at some point, you know, but it's really kind of cool because those guys are like the cultural gatekeepers.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awful if video games turned into a bunch of like buzzwords and
going to Joe Lieberman in Congress and saying, no, this is not just about violence. This is not just about, you know, using sex to sell games.
Name dropping fucking Joe Lieberman. Oh
This is a
God.
part of our culture. It's important. Back off. I don't buy the argument that there are console gamers and PC gamers. I don't buy it for 1 second. Here's the deep dark secret. You know, I played one PC game from start to finish last year. I played so many more hours of console games last year than I did PC games. It's not even funny. You know, everybody in the studio has a rockin' PC on his or her desk, and we all have console games at home. Okay, the audiences are coming together. The kinds of games we're making are directly in line with what PC gamers want, what console gamers want, what gamers want.
At least, all right, that part.
Games,
at least
what
that
happens is,
that remains true. At least,
you know, players.
Of course, now it's swung in the other direction where now you have fucking console owners demanding that games not be released on other systems because people are fucking stupid.
Says, wasn't it cool when that monster burst through the window and you got out your BFG and you killed it? Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it was cool when I did that too. In our games, what happens is, you know, someone will say, wasn't it cool when that monster burst through that window and I got out my BFG and I killed it? And someone will say, monster? What monster? I never saw a monster. I'll have to go back and try that again a different way and see if I can get the monster to burst through the window. You know, our games are all about your experience being unique.
Pretty sure I have a handful of Deus Ex games on the backlog
That's
too.
happened in the last couple of years was the release of Grand Theft Auto 3. You know, that game came out on the PS2 and it's coming to every other platform in the world now, obviously, and completely validated everything we were trying to do. It validated not just in general terms that, you know, players want, you know, a deep simulation that they can interact with however they want, but it validated you know, the idea that console gamers are as into this as PC gamers always have been. So, you know, we think we're in the right place at the right time with the right idea. And our whole manifesto is built around the idea of, you know, creating great immersive simulation games. We don't think of ourselves as shooters or action games or role-playing games or, you know, anything except immersive simulation games. What we try to do is we try to set up a cool overall story. You know, in Deus Ex, you're J.C. Denton, Deus Ex 1. You're J.C. Denton, you've got a brother Paul, you work for UNATCO, you go on a bunch of missions. Oh my God, they've turned against me. You know, that kind of storytelling stuff we own. That belongs to us. But the minute-to-minute gameplay, how do you respond to UNATCO turning against you? How do you respond to the fact that the bad guys might not be the bad guys? That's all up to you. You know, there are two guys standing there. Do you kill them? Do you sneak past them? Do you talk to them? that's all up to you. And we think
The
that
important thing is to
player
remember that he
control,
never asked for
free-form
this.
sort of gameplay is really powerful. It's what games do that no other.
I know I'm
medium
like
does.
3 games early on that reference, but
And it's kind of the foundation of everything we try to do in the studio. When you play a game, it shouldn't be about how clever the designer was. It shouldn't be about, oh my God, what a cool puzzle. Wasn't that neat the way the designer created something and I solved it? It should be about you in a game world, interacting with that game world the way you want, making a plan, executing it, and you get to be creative. Players get to be creative. The thing that gets everybody in the studio excited is when players collaborate with us in the telling of a story. The world is ready for it. The key is making the gameplay accessible, which we now know we can do. And so, you know, a year from now, we rule the world. That's our master plan, you know?
ha 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 ha. Oh, I love a glib statement that then just becomes just, boy, if that came out of a developer's mouth today, it would feel like an active threat.
Mace Griffin, the high.
The audio broke as a result
The sentence will be 10 years
of all of that irony. So 1 second here.
Word I said. We were set up. They were waiting for us.
You will accept the council's decision.
Let me let me restart this whole thing. I'm just gonna quit out of it entirely. Okay. When he said the thing about we like it when the players get creative with us and everything, like my brain just started going to just, and maybe one day we'll just rip the creativity out of everybody's hands.
Mace Griffin, the High Council finds you
it's too easy to be cynical about it right now.
Didn't you listen to
What if no one had to develop anything? No one had to create anything. You just tell the computer what you want it to be. All right, let's get some top 10 plays here. I'm sure these will all be phenomenal as usual. Top 10 play a splashdown. Do a basic ass trick on a jump. Top 10 play in Shenmue 2. Watch this, one of the few times you do anything other than talk to people. Test drive was just a head-on collision, and then... yeah, top 10 play. This is me losing a race. There's no top gameplay from Tao Feng. I love that all the gameplay of specifically Test Drive is just look at how much I suck at this game. God, that game looks so bad. Dead to Rights. Wow. I don't know if I've ever touched a Dead to Rights game. I must have tried one of them at some point. They always seemed kind of interesting, but not enough to really get me to like, oh, I need to find a copy of that game. But just just like gritty third-person shooter type game. Very, I'm sure, God, they've got it. I'm sure they are like edgy as fuck now.
Didn't you listen to a word word I said?
because that was very much the vibe at the time. And I remember the second one had a dog in it.
Take him away.
All right, let's properly watch. Even though this has been looping for like an hour now, we can now fully
Mace
watch
Griffin,
this.
The High Council finds you guilty as charged. The sentence will be 10 years. The place of incarceration will be Kaseth Penal Colony.
Didn't you listen to a word I said? We were set up. They were waiting for us.
You will accept the Council's decision. Take him away.
The council's decision. The I think I mentioned a while ago, I played like the first, I think like 2 levels of this game, maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
In space.
I can see, and I could see why a lot of people don't really remember this game that well.
Across the galaxy.
But it's the part where you can also, it's less the part where it's like a clunky, basic ass third party B grade first person shooter, and more about the part where you can also like fly around in space and do space combat things. Like that's really what I want to experience in that game. I think it just takes a really fucking long time to get there. A long awaited return to snowboarding. It's actually been a hot minute since we've had any snowboarding footage on one of these demo discs. A wild decision to play this game when SSX exists. I guess if you want your snowboarding a hair more realistic, this would be the way to go. Feels like Microsoft was just bootlegging everything they thought was easy to make. I mean, kinda. It's hard to say because part of the difficulty of going and revisiting this stuff is we have the benefit of hindsight on everything, right? So at the time, all of this stuff was being developed at like simultaneously, you know. So it's not like these guys came around and made their snowboarding game like in response to Tricky or SSX. Like SSX and this game were probably being developed right next to each other. You know, I'm sure that there's plenty of incidences of like just like parallel thinking. There's almost definitely a handful of things where it's just like, okay, well, we're just chasing trends or whatever, but yeah, it's hard to say. The thing is like I feel like it's easier to say like now, like it feels like most companies or most developers and publishers are just chasing the same goddamn high that everybody else is going after.
The place of incarceration will be Kaseth Penal Colony.
Because I remember, I mean, there was, I mean, like late stage Xbox 360 and PS3, that generation was like, everything was a fucking zombie game. It was just zombies goddamn everywhere. It's just like everybody had a new fucking zombie game to make, you know, and then that lasted for a while, and then we kind of like transitioned out of that or whatever, and then we started getting like hero, like somehow we're still in like the hero shooters generation, despite all of them shutting down if you're not called Overwatch.
I will hunt them down.
Yeah, I think the thing I've said before, and I'll probably end up saying it again, but like The thing that's maybe the most like upsetting about this particular generation is that it didn't feel
edition of the official Xbox magazine.
as exploratory and experimental as the one before it.
Games coming out this fall.
The PS1 and the 60 and the N64 were inventing whole new genres. You know, we're like creating entirely new rule sets and everything. And now that we're getting into this era, like all those rules have been established, and now we're just kind of like iterating on it, right? We're just making like slightly better, a little more polished versions of them. But that also means that they're inherently less interesting because they're taking fewer risks. You know, like
We also have footage of games that support Microsoft.
this generation and the one after it, and then kind of the one after that. Not to as bad of a degree, I don't feel, but it all started becoming a lot about like graphical fidelity, and chasing after realism and things like that. Like that's less true for these early years of this generation, but it definitely started to pick up towards the end. And then once we get into the 360 and the PS3, then it's all about how real can we make our games look, you know? And that's when performance tanks, you know, like one of the nice things about this generation, you have seen it as we've been watching this stuff, damn near every game like ran at 60 FPS, you know, or at least not sub 30. That is not true of the 360 and PS3 generation. Like actual like performance goes like down the fucking tubes, but it looks more realistic, you know, like I feel like my answer keeps changing for this, but in a weird way, like I think it could be argued that like the 360 and PS3 generation maybe aged worse than some of these other ones, you know, because there's a certain like level of, well, we're still making things very like interpretive and we're coming with like creative solutions for things. Because we know that we can't aim for realism. And then once we start actually aiming for realism, then it's like, well, now you don't have like good art to like balance against how much this thing is like aged or whatever, you know. So you end up in these situations where there are just so many just like bland ass fucking like military shooters, and sports games are on that list as well. There's just a lot of stuff where there's just a lot of things that were meant for the mainstream that end up just not being all that interesting, which is funny because I do think that the 360 and PS3 actually have some interesting experimentation going on. The PS3 especially, you know, like for all of its faults, the PS3 has a handful of like weird fucking games on it. Like one day we're gonna get to a playthrough of Tokyo Jungle, you know. like one day we're gonna get to a playthrough of Folklore. Like we're gonna get, you know, Odin Sphere was on. Well, that was a PS2 game, but then got remade for PS3, and it's fucking incredible, you know. Or no, was that PS4 or whatever? Point being, it's like, you know, like there are still little pockets here and there of people doing interesting things, but by and large, I think everybody was just kind of like just wanted just like the bigger library, you know. It's just like, what is the largest variety of games that we can put on each of these consoles so that people would want to go buy ours instead of the other guys? And that led to some pretty fucking big libraries for all of these consoles, you know. Again, famously, the GameCube, not so much. Had fairly poor third-party support on it, which then kind of only got worse as time went on. But the things that were then developed like for GameCube specifically end up being fairly interesting, you know, because they're developing it like for a singular console experience. And I feel like that carried on like into the Wii as well. The Wii has the opposite problem where it has too many goddamn fucking games on it, and most of them are trash. But the ones that were made like with that console like in mind and how to like, you know, really take advantage of what it was going for, like those ones stand out. And again, like ultimately, it just comes down to just like how passionate and creative are the people that are making the things? Because the stuff that's motivated by money and metrics is just never going to be as interesting. That's just how it has always fucking worked since forever. And the video verdict is basically the same. Okay, but we've added some new stuff. Okay. What do they have to say about the original Burnout? Because I will tell you, much as I love the Burnout series, original Burnout #1, really fucking bare bones. You're not even meant to do crashes in it. They just put a crash cam in there in case you do. I guess they forgot to put the rest of the stuff in there. Okay. Graphics. What Renderware lacks in realism and makes up for in sheer speed. Renderware is a hell of a game engine. Really fucking good. Convincing road designs, lots of realistic traffic, great sound effects paired with terrible music. Yeah, the music is not great in the game. The game's been perfectly tuned and honed. I mean, they got positive things to say about it. Fast and Furious, so really putting a timestamp on this. Retro appeal, modern speed. First level, deceptively poor. Frustratingly hard later on. And perplexing, no system link support. Is that perplexing? That was true of most games. Now, 007 Agent Under Fire is a good fucking video game. This was another one we had on the GameCube. Those ended up being, taking it back to what I was talking about at the beginning, the 007 games, Agent Under Fire and Nightfire, unexpectedly, because they were just kind of surprises, also became games that my dad really gravitated towards. He fucking loved the 2 James Bond games on GameCube. Of the first-person shooters. I think he also played a little bit of From Russia with Love, but that's a very different game. Agent Under Fire and Nightfire kick ass. They're so good. They're so much fun. Also perplexing though, there's no system link support for James Bond Agent Under Fire, a single player game. There's a multiplayer, local multiplayer thing in it, but it's not what you go to the James. Well, I shouldn't say that. People famously went to the James Bond games for multiplayer. It's not what I came to James Bond for. Speaking of the devil, SSX Tricky is on here. Bright, colorful, and cartoony. If it weren't for that darn choppiness. Oh, did the Xbox version not run as well as the PS2 version? Yeah, we were pretty drawn in. In case you needed to know that millennials have always been working in the gaming industry. And hey, the trick mode is fun too. Just these throwaway afterthought review lines. Better looking than the PS2 version. No Xbox extras, some slowdown, not much, but it's still there. Why does an Xbox version of a PS2 game still drop frames of animation? See, we're in the console wars, baby. Like, it's happening. We gotta take little shots at each other. I guess I don't know enough about the SSX Tricky ports to compare like one's performance to the other. It is surprising that the Xbox version of a game would run worse, because I think it was generally agreed that it was a more powerful system specs wise, but obviously that has nothing to do with how it's actually like developed and optimized. Like if it's not made for that system in the first place, then it's never going to be as good as if it was developed natively. That's just how it works. Yep, they made a baseball game. Unfortunately, it's not called The Bigs, which is the actual good baseball game. Although I think both of the Biggs games are actually 360 games. The Biggs games are ridiculous and kind of hilarious. Just these big ass clunky arcade baseball games. Well, gang, I think that's it. Yeah, nothing new on here. I'm almost positive that we've played a demo for Gunmetal before. This is like, it's kind of like a weird like third person like shooter thing. I remember, if this is the game that I'm thinking of, we were like running around a canyon or something. Okay, this does not, wait a minute, I don't remember this. I don't remember the live action video with the robot running around in it. Whoa. Okay, hang on. We didn't play this. Oh, I'm glad I clicked on this. Hang on. Hang on. This might kick ass. This, by the way, is not Mech Assault or Mech Warrior. Is this game awesome? It's Macross, yeah. Okay, all right, skip this. Give me to the gameplay here. Mission briefing.
Three of our dropships are en route to intercept another assault on the weapon research facility. They won't be able to hold them back for long. Get in there and help them out.
Okay. Cycle weapon, auto aim, transform. Weapon select. Left for missiles, right for weapon. Move aim. Okay. Invert aim, jet only. All right, we're in it.
Our dropships are moving in to intercept the enemy APCs. They are heavily outnumbered and need your help. Our dropships are under attack from the enemy tanks. Get over there and draw their fire.
Okay. Well, I'm circle strafing and holding down the fire button. This feels like a video game. Everything here has a lot of health. Oh, hang on. Okay, we had a flat gun. That tears things up a bit. Torpedo. Disc L. Ooh. Game is loud. Loud game is loud. All right, moving on.
The remaining one is lost, then the research facility will surely be overrun. More enemy tanks are approaching. Don't let them move within firing range of our dropships.
I'm accidentally destroying a lot of my own guys. There we go.
Warning, incoming enemy bombers. Engage them
Hey gang, guess what? I think this game might rule. I don't know what button is the re-energizer. I don't see any bunnies out here. Oh, hang on. That looks like a health icon. I guess that's not the way to get the to get a health upgrade. Yo, that game, I might have to throw another game in the backlog. That's, I feel like once I get used to the controls on that, like that could be really fucking fun. That seemed killer. So goddamn loud every time. That is not the last we are going to see of Gunmetal on this channel. That is a goddamn promise, and you can quote me on that. Oh, I didn't set the thing. Oh, whatever. All in all, a bit of a mixed bag tonight, I would say. I do think that having like an interview with Warren Spector is certainly interesting, if for no other reason than for like historical purposes. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get like actual like E3 footage. I can't remember if one of these discs did show Xbox at E3. There's definitely one of these that we looked at where like they were talking about like the making of the Xbox itself from like concept to production and everything, but that was all very like in studio stuff. But like I don't think they showed us anything that was like public facing presentation of this. I guess I'd have to go back through the VODs or whatever and see if that was ever the case, but I don't remember it. I remember we have seen tons of E3 stuff off of the PlayStation disc. That's for fucking sure. But yeah, overall, I mean, look, we got a new backlog game out of this, so I can't be too upset. I'm actually going to do that right now just to make sure that I do not forget. Because this thing, that ruled. It's so dumb. Like, it's dumb, but great. Someone on backlog says that it's less than an hour long. Honestly, even better. Even better. If it is like that short of a game and it just like jumps in, punches hard, jumps back out. Sign me up. Sign me up. I don't need my games to be any more complicated than that. Well, gang, I think that's gonna do it. Oh yeah, we ended like right on time this time. Thank God I talked about a bunch of bullshit for an hour. Yeah, I mean, overall, still a fun time. We got to see how Hunter was made. Actually, we didn't really see it get made at all. It was just mostly people talking about like how cool they thought their game is. Which I guess, hey, if you're gonna talk about your game, you want to talk about it positively. So of course you would spend your time doing that. But yeah, yeah, hopefully next round we can get into just give me the good stuff. Just give me like the weird. Just give me the weird old shit. That's what I'm looking for here. But yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight. I will be back either Thursday or Friday, I imagine. And we'll jump back into FF7. We'll do some Rebirth on one of these weeknight streams, where I'll probably end up just clearing out a bunch of like side quest stuff. And then either Saturday or Sunday, or potentially both. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll just be back on that grind. We will just be going through just as much of the game as we can, because I'm having a good time with it and I don't feel bad about playing even more of it. So yeah, as always, keep an eye on the Discord and whatnot for what's going on there. I could always randomly decide to stream even more, but it is also important that I pace myself. Let's see who's on tonight. We're gonna do something we haven't done in a hot minute here. We're just gonna see what other retro streamers are out here tonight, and maybe who could use a little love. What are people up to this evening? I see someone playing OG Donkey Kong, like arcade Donkey Kong. I see someone playing Quest 64, which is a choice. Some Maniac Mansion. Got someone going for the retro achievements on God Hand on PS2. That is on the backlog. Ooh, we got someone who looks like they're still fairly early into Metal Gear Solid 2. Someone's playing Street Fighter, the movie, the game, the movie, the game of the movie. Oh, we got some guy doing something called a demo disc dive official Xbox magazine. That doesn't sound very interesting. Let's take a look at Metal Gear guy. What's this guy got going on? This dude looks chill as hell and is at the point in Metal Gear Solid 2 where you're pointing a microphone around to find the president. So that is a great part in that game. That's about the point in that game where shit starts getting crazy. So I'm going to send you guys over to Retro Bladen. Someone we have not rated before. We're taking a chance here. We're taking a chance on a fellow retro streamer. So go give Retro Bladen some love as they experience one of the best and weirdest games ever made. Thank you again for hanging out, guys. Thank you, Kaz, for lurking around. And yeah, like I said, either Thursday or Friday, I'll be back. As of course, keep an eye on the Discord for when that's going to be happening. Enjoy your evening. Go get yourself some Mexican Cheetos, and I will catch you guys all on the next one. Adios.